how we can be heroes just for one day. How we can be heroes.
Hey guys, Leon's America, and today we're recording a 2v2 on Napoleon Total War on the Grassy Flatlands map. And this is the first video I've ever recorded on my new gaming PC. Getting about an average of 100 frames right now. It's gonna be great, and you can see here, look at this. I can just zoom in, no lag whatsoever. So, the scenario here on Grassy Flatlands is Tip and I are both playing as Spain, and we both brought guerrilla units. But the bad thing about guerrilla units on Grassy Flats is the point of having them is to put them somewhere strategic to capture for Spain, since Spain's like second to worst nation in the game other than the Netherlands. And so Tip and I decided, since this is our guerrilla series, that we were going to do something out of the ordinary and put our guerrillas on Grassy Flatlands behind one of the opponents and focus all of our attention on that player while attacking him from the rear with a combined two forces of guerrilla forces here. And you can see, here I'm going to put it in slow motion, at the start here he doesn't even notice and he's completely facing the wrong way, but the Ottoman player does notice and is already sending a bunch of cav our direction. So we've kind of got to act fast here, and the point of the tactic here is that we've got to push up right here, and we've got to push up right here as fast as we can. But the bad thing about that is that I've only got 2 lights on the front here since I brought 2 lights in the back, so I'm gonna get out shot with lights here, but I still have to push up to keep them occupied, because if he pushes too many forces back towards our guerrillas, we're gonna lose them really quick, and it's not gonna be good, because then they're all gonna be wasted. So that's what's gonna happen so far. And right now I believe, yeah, I'm running, and it's also very micro heavy here. So Tip's trying to scoot over, I'm trying to push forward, and while that's happening, we've got to micro our guerrillas that are behind the enemy force while these Ottomans are threatening us with their cav. I believe this is all shooter cav. Also, the game's not popping up names for certain units, and it's popping up in like French for others. It's because I have the Napoleon Total War 3 mod update, and it glitched out on all this. It did it to Tip too. Also on my background for the Napoleon main menu, it will have the Napoleon Total War 3 mod picture, so oh well. So here you can see Tip and I don't think Tip brought these guys, but I brought some Tiradores here. I'm going to plant some stakes with them this way, because with guerrillas you can only bring 1 line, but since Tip and I both brought guerrillas, we have 2 lines here. So you kind of need to plant stakes so that you can kind of cover all of your lights, since you only have 2 lines and you can bring 2 lights. So you can kind of cover both of them with the stakes here and the line covering this one here. Also using the cav to work together with them. So guerrilla units are all about working together. If they don't work together, they kind of all die. It's just how it goes. So now it seems probably that the Ottoman player has told the Prussian that we're behind him, so the Prussians just lined up all of his cav, and now we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cav facing us. So it's pretty bad. But it's working. You can see he's pulling his guys from the front to go face us in the back, and I'm trying to distract him with cav and lights and stuff, and while it's going on I'm pushing forward, but I'm walking, so I'm taking a long time, which is not good for this tactic. It's gonna really bite us here when we start getting engaged, because he's going to be able to focus more men behind him. So now I'm trying to get him in squares and stuff so I can push up, but he's gonna, yeah, that's what he's gonna do. I did get into his line a bit here, but it's gonna be a complete waste, and I'm gonna get shredded. I get a nice volley on his cav here though, and he's gonna charge my lights. But he is depleted, but it's still not good for me, and the line's too far back to cover him, so it's not good on my part. Massive volleys, that's super loud, which is always awesome. So here we both kind of wasted a caveat. He got some good kills on me, I got some good kills on him. These are actually Prussian Fusiliers, my bad, that's not a line unit. So we got some good hits on each other's lights, and then my other light opened fire and got some more hits on him. So at this point, the battle of the guerrillas has began, and my forces are just walking. It's a huge mistake during this battle is that I'm taking my time to get up here, and I'm not trying to save our guys. You can see here, just with the massed volleys they're putting on, and their quality is way better than mine, that they're going to be able to destroy us if I'm not quick about pushing up. You can see I've now formed light infantry behavior, which means I'm definitely getting ready to push. Although here you can see I'm only forming here, which is still out of range. So I've got to get up quick. Tip's kind of lagging behind, but that's because he's got a micro against all these guys. He's got to get his defense up. Seems to be charging some cav to try and win us the light fight. Good thing about this is we are getting stray shots on the dudes here as well. But the Ottoman cav is here to support. Oh, those were actually my men. Yep, there's me wasting more cav. Yeah, Tip would not have sacrificed him like I did there. He's a lot more careful with his cav than I am. I like to throw him away, but you can see there, usually what I should be doing is throwing them away, but then acting on it and pushing up my line or something so I can get some kills. But instead, I just kind of threw him away without responding. Like I said, you've got to work together with your guerrillas, and there I just kind of threw him away for no particular reason. Over here, my flank's being threatened by these guards, and I can't hold up to that, so I've got to fall back, and as well as Tip does too. So we've kind of fallen back to the stake line again and gotten really nowhere. And you can see while I'm pulling back there, I'm pushing up here just a little bit, really slow. This is, I don't know why I'm pulling back here. I should be pushing up, but this was our first try at it, so, you know, got to get used to it. I should have just pushed up, taken the volley, but instead I'm being really cautious, and time is not on our side, so I don't have time to do that. I should be pushing up. Can't say it enough, because it is going to cost us. So right now they're getting shooter cav, lights, and guards to their flanks to support. I'm spread extremely thin with what few guerrillas I have left. You see, I've only got 4, and I kept telling Tip, I'm like, Tip, I need you to turn, I need you to move, and he kept yelling back, I'm trying to micro over here, because he's got all these guys he's trying to position on my left against, oh yeah, I forgot about this, against this entire basically melee rush heavy Ottoman faction that only brought a few line, bunch of upgraded shooter cav and a bunch of upgraded Semet Janissaries. So Tip's like freaking out, I'm freaking out. I need him to turn his guys over here, which he is, but they're walking, and I really need them on the far left here because I'm gonna get shot by shooter cav and I can't respond to that. But Tip doesn't end up sending any guys to my left, so I'm gonna have to just deal with it. Do what I can. Over here you can see I fired and then retreated, but I get a volley to the back. Don't lose too many guys though, so it's kind of cost effective. Plus I'm always getting some stray shots on his dudes here. Over here, look at this, I'm still not pushing up. We've got the numbers, they've got a huge chunk of their force facing away from us. And we're outnumbered in the light fight, we're outnumbered in the cav fight, but what can we do? We've got to push up. And if we don't, our guerrillas are going to die, and then we're going to be half of an army down, because this is over 12 units, that's half of an army lost pretty much for nothing if we don't push up and do something. By we, I mean me, because Tip's not at fault here, it's me, I'm not pushing up. He is sending me some light support, I guess that could be why I was waiting, but it's still not helping us here, and they should be pushing up on us. They could easily overrun this. And look, you can still see Tip's got units facing nowhere, so that was really frustrating for me, because I'm just like, dude, I need guys on the left, and he's just like, I don't know. So yeah, takes a lot of heavy micro, takes a lot of communication. And patience, because you can see we're kind of, well, you can't see it now, but like I'm explaining it, we were freaking out on each other, trying to work together, but it's not really working. You can see we've got literally nothing supporting here. If he just charged in, he would slaughter these lights, which are mine, so once again, my fault. Over here, the Ottoman is charging with the shooter cav. I'm trying to I'm direct targeting, trying to get my shooter cav to shoot him, but instead they're just gonna like waddle around and be retarded. And get charged. So there goes one cav completely wasted, and here comes the foot guards. So there goes our left, and no cavs come and help. So, sorry guys. You can see I'm gonna get charged. Hopefully I form a square. Yes, I do. Oh, and I take a volley. That's nice. Over here, I finally pushed up the front, and he's just gonna pull back. So he shot me and ran. Looks like I actually got a return volley, which is nice. And then he's just gonna run up my line of lights, as well as Tip's light over here. So there goes our left, basically. Luckily, he didn't finish this guy off, so I'm gonna charge these foot guards. You can see he got into a square and the Ottoman countercharged. My cav pretty much instantly routed. Ottoman's just running up and down my lines, killing my dudes. Tip's gonna counter charge, which you should never do. Don't charge enemy cav like that. You need to. There you go. Yeah, he's gonna charge that unit and keep them from focusing on me, which is good. It gives me time to reform and re-strategize, I guess. Even though there's really only I've got one unit now, so not much to strategize on. But we're kind of getting our final shots here. Tip's kind of gonna run up their lines now. They get square. This is a light. These two are well. This one isn't. This is a light unit, so they couldn't form square though. But here goes my last guerrilla unit getting charged by this Ottoman cav. And finally, look at this. Right as we're getting destroyed there, we finally push up. So it's too little too late. Now we're pretty much having a straight up battle against one of the best nations in shooting other than France and England. And we've got half of a force completely getting destroyed over here. Yep, that was the rest of my units. Now it's just Tip's guerrilla units fighting off these Ottoman and Prussian units here. But you can see most of these guys are like standing over here almost untouched because nothing was over here. And if they had been on the left, we might have actually been able to hold that. I mean, I'm putting all the blame on him because we really could have held a lot longer if he'd helped me out on the left. But it was my fault also. Not pushing up far enough, like I said. And not getting squares when he was charging me there and that kind of thing. So over here, we get cav charged. I counter cav charged to mess up their lines while our lines are messed up. Pull back my lights. Charge through the militia, and then I just keep sweeping up all of their units here. Also pushed up my line a bit here and got a few shots on his lights. You can see Tip's unit and square here is still fighting off some of these Ottoman cav, but yeah, they're shooter cav, so they're going to kill him regardless of what he does. And if he gets out of square, they're just going to charge him, so it's a lose-lose scenario for Tip there, which kind of sucks a lot. Over here, this one militia is stalling me from coming over here, but like you can see here, I'm getting some really nice straight shots on these Prussian units. You know, over here we get another cav charge, but I've got lines supporting my lights and that kind of thing, so anything he throws at me is going to get shot. I've got everything supporting each other. See, over here I've got stuff supporting everything, but over there I did not. So over here, these are Tip's lights. I'm telling him to push up, because you can see I'm pushing up my lines to fight him, but Tip was distracted microing his last few guerrillas over here, trying to get some final, hopefully, good kills there. You can see he's kind of like, both of us were really not microing very well in this battle. These guys' units way over here, which means leaves my left flank completely exposed to this melee rush. I've got 3 units facing off against this foot guard, which is going to be my favor, which is probably why I pushed up, because I would easily beat that with the numbers, but on a one-on-one I would lose against them. And over here I'm shooting this cav. It's just going to run through and try to get Tip though. Tip's shooting one of my better units in the back here this time. It's one of my Walloon guards. You can see I'm probably yelling at him not to shoot my Walloon guards, because that's like the best unit Spain has. So he's going to push up for some reason behind my line. So I'm going to pull back. He's going to push up a little more and start skirmishing again. Over on this side, I'm just kind of scooting back a little bit. Ottomans aren't actually pushing up on me, but I want to be at a distance so I can form if he does start pushing. I can turn my flank to face him if he does start pushing on me. On this side, we're easily winning the skirmish fight now, because luckily, since the Ottomans brought this rush army, they have no lights, which means Tip was able to send his lights to me to help me out, which is really awesome. It means we can have a pretty fair fight with these Prussians. Not to mention we did a really good amount of damage to his lights back here. Not so much to his line, but to his lights we definitely hurt him, because those were the first units he was throwing in. So Tip's just going to keep scooting forward, trying to get more kills here. He knows he's going to win the skirmish, so he's keeping up the pressure before they can send over a bunch of reserves, but they've got all this cav, and a skirmish can easily be turned into a rout when cav charges in, because they'll force your lights back, get you in square. Enemy line can push up and just start wrecking your guys in the square. So that's why I've got my lines behind his lights, and then I've got my guards behind my line, so if I have to form square, the guards can shoot the cav. You can see, even back during the actual live battle, I'm not just saying it, I'm actually supporting everything. I'm trying to keep up all these units so that, yeah, here I'm doing it as well. These aren't reserves. I don't need reserves because we're not having a straight line fight. And most of the time in Napoleon, you don't need reserves unless you're kind of playing on a terrain map, which this isn't. I mean, you, of course, do have reserves, but I don't have a lot of space to spread out my line and stuff, so I do have reserves. But like I said, they're here mainly to support these guys in case they get cav charged and easily destroy the cav, so I can realign myself and open fire on the enemy lines again. So right now, the lines have opened fire with Tip's lights, and I said, I'm just going to pull back, dude. I don't need to face them. Your lights will easily tank that out, because they're laying down, they're not taking so many shots, and they're spread out. He's going to push up, though, and I'm like, oh, if you're going to push up and get that close, I can probably get behind him and be in range. But I'm still taking stray shots, which kind of sucks, so it doesn't look like I'm going to push up behind Tip. I'm just going to keep falling back. Although, looks like I am pushing up then. Yeah. He's close enough, so I'm thinking I can shoot him, but because of that running back and forth, I'm going to take some losses getting there. Yeah, look at that. Pretty heavy losses on these guys. Tip's pulling back his lights. I'm not sure why. That would really help me. Oh, we both fall back. Oh, it's because of this cav. Okay. We kind of knew it was going to happen, so we fell back. My units are really depleted, though, so forming square could be a problem here. And you can see with these new graphics, I've got grass turned on, and it looks awesome. Everything's pretty much on high to make the game look as quality perfect as possible, and I think it does, in my opinion. So here we're hopefully going to get some shots on these cav. Looks like I just formed a square. I probably could have gotten a volley. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Tip's lights got shredded. My squares are so tiny, though, he's probably just going to run through them, so I had to form the woolen guards and square, but we shredded their cav on the way in here a bit, which was nice. He's going to pull them back out and push up with the lines, which are now shooting us as well, so I'm going to fall back behind Tip's lights again, and the cav's just going to come right back. So right here, like I said, the skirmish can turn from a skirmish to a rout really quickly. My lines are so depleted, I can't form square with most of my units, so Tip's like, form square, and I can't form square. Well, this one can, luckily. But I'm trying to get reformed. Tip, I believe, is, yeah, he's pushing up over here, so he was missing a lot of these guys, trying to pull him back, so he's a little bit slow to that. This unit, sadly, gets caught out in the open to hold up all these guys, so they're going to get shot up a bit. But that gives me these guys time to hold the line, that kind of thing. Prussians are also charging over here, but you can see they're not acting on it. They're not really pushing up or anything. As for the Ottomans, they're still just kind of sitting here. So on this side, we've got a very scattered amount of casualties in this terrain here. Is that my general? Oh, yeah, it was. His Lancer just charged right past my square and my lights and just assassinated my general. Yeah, that was mine. That sucks. Over here, I'm bringing the Woolen Guard over to the right, because you can see they don't really have a cav presence here, so I don't need them in reserve. Not to mention our center's crumbling, and our right, and, well, me, once again. This isn't Tip I'm bashing on, this is me collapsing here. This unit I left in square, I could have probably pulled them back by now, so they're taking some unnecessary losses. They're returning fire, but these are lights they're firing at, so, yeah. Over here, this Balloon Guard just feels the pain. It keeps getting forced in square by these Prussian cav here, and every time I take him out of square like this, he's gonna run back and charge him again, and then just keep shooting him with his guards in his line. But you can see we did some, those are my guys. I was gonna say we did some good damage, and zoom in, those are my guys. We did do good damage to the Prussians though. Kind of, I don't know, this doesn't look super good, considering we had like 5 lights over here. This is not a lot of damage dealt. Now, I have to form square again. This Prussian cav are coming in to charge me, which is always just the problem. And then he pulls out, and I get shot by his lines. You can see he's shooting his own guys in the back here, which he just direct controlled, told them all to fire, and he just shot a bunch of his own dudes. Although it's kind of worth it to kill a Woolen Guard, but he was probably going to kill it regardless because it's all alone, and he's got cav. Over here, Tip does a YOLO cav charge and gets cut down. The body's just being launched into the foot guards. At this point, look at this. The Ottoman hasn't even engaged yet. He's just sending cav because he brought so many. I think he brought like 10 or something, maybe 8. Over here, look at this. This Woolen Guard's trying to get across this road, running for their lives, and they just get charged again. But look, still big enough to be in a square, just barely. Oh. I don't know what's happening here. I'm trying to get some last shots, I guess. Looks like I do get... Oh, that was nice. Just killed like 4 dudes there. Yeah, looks like I'm getting some nice final kills on these. Yep, and it's over. I got some good final kills, though. Not much, though, considering these guys were about 96 the first time they got charged way over here. I think this is where it happened. So over here, Tip got his cav wrecked, and then he tried to push up to act on it, but it was too late because all these Ottoman cav came in to cover that. And now Tip is going to get melee rushed against Spashi Bazooks, Line Infantry, Semets, and a swarm of shooter cav. On my side, you can see I've got like 5 units left, and the Prussians are cutting down this routing Woolen Guard. How much more do you need to do to these guys? They've suffered enough. Look at that, he just wanted to get more kills or something. They were already going to rout. So you can see this flank fell quite quickly. It looks pretty epic though. And then over here we didn't do at all what kind of damage we could have done, so that was bad. So on Tip's side, he's getting shot at by shooter cav. He's forming square. He's doing everything he can to fight off this melee rush, but melee rushes are extremely micro heavy because you've got a kite like no other kite before, and you've got to sacrifice units to stop him from charging and that kind of thing, and it's just going to be really tough if he's going to pull this off. And while this is going on, I'm telling him, like, fall back, because this is his unit here. I'm telling him, fall back, we're going to get shot. We got to keep falling back from Prussia. We don't have skirmishers. So we have to keep pulling back on the right while fighting a melee rush on the left. So it's bad all over the place. And this could have all been avoided had we pushed up on the, I'm sorry, this is my fault. Had I pushed up on the Prussian 10 times faster. And saved our guerrillas and destroyed Prussia pretty early there. So Tip and I kind of call this the troll build because it's not historical whatsoever. No one ever brought a melee rush build like this where you just have a spam of cav and melee units, because it never worked. It doesn't work like that. So it's just kind of a Napoleon build where people do it to win, and it's super annoying and it's really not cool. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what more I can say about it. It just sucks. So here he's just kind of melee charging. I don't know why he did it with that unit, but he did, and it got wrecked. And over here, I mean, I keep kiting, but I realize Tip's getting routed pretty quickly here, and so I'm like, well, I'm either gonna fight him or we're gonna get routed, and I'm gonna get fought by 2 armies. So I'm like, let's just fight real quick and get as many kills as I can before it's too late. My general's already dead, so I'm throwing in the general's staff to honor my general. 2 of them just got shot. And then they got shredded by the line there, but that's okay. It's a-okay. So Tip, you can see, just disappeared very quickly. And most of this, I mean, he didn't have a huge army here. Most of his units, like I said, he had about 5 guerrilla units there, and he sent 3 lights here, so he only had probably less than half of an army defending here. But the Ottomans were equally as weak because they had so much cav supporting Prussia. That's one reason why this tactic didn't work also. There goes Tip's general. Is I should have brought more cav. Cav with Spain on grassy flats is extremely vital because their line is garbage. So right here, yeah, these are my units fighting these Prussian skirmishers and doing almost no damage to them because they're in the forest and they're kneeling down. Over here, Tip's units are just being shot to death by skirmishers. They're not able to do anything, but you can see here, it's because he's microing over here, trying to get in square. Oh, that was a sick view. Just watch him turn over and shoot. Here comes a Prussian cav charge. He called off his general, but he's doing a cav charge on Tip's depleted unit here. I'm going to be forced to form square, or he's just going to rip down my line, but they're probably just going to pull through and go to my Woolen Guards anyway, so not much you can do about this. Decent players know how to rip up lines pretty easily. Over here, Tip's getting out of square to return fire. It's too little too late. And he's just getting some final kills on the Ottoman Empire, but he still has a pretty healthy army. Prussia, I believe, pushed up on me. No, I think I pushed up on him, actually, and took the first volley, because I realized, you can see that it's just, there's nothing I can do, so I gotta get kills while I can. Woolen Guards are actually going to do quite well, though, because they're Woolen Guards. Elsewhere, though, you can see every time I get out of square, they just come back over and put me in square. It's extremely frustrating, but it's definitely a good tactic in Napoleon, and I use it all the time on grassy flats, because It's extremely useful, and it can help rout an army really quickly. So there goes the rest of Tip's army on the left. Now it's just me. I believe all of Tip's units are gone. Yeah, this is my unit. These are all my units left, and we're pretty much being cleaned up here. By we, I mean me, because Tip's gone now, and I've got 2 units just holding off against entire army here. There goes the officer of that unit, and I've mass routed. So that was the game. I hope you guys learned some stuff from this. Like I said, we do plan on doing a 4v4. I already have a 3v3. Gotta record it, and I will post that, and you guys can see how that one went better or worse. We definitely changed some of the stuff we did because we learned from here. And so from the scoreboard here, you can see me doing almost nothing, Tip doing decently considering how bad our situation was. So that's actually a pretty good score considering what was going on. As for our opponents, both getting pretty good scores. Ottomans taking some heavy losses, but you know, it doesn't matter when you get more kills than deaths. Best unit was actually a Walloon Guard. I'm guessing it wasn't the one that got cut down. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys can stick around and watch the next episode of Guerrilla Tactics. This one was definitely interesting, and like I said, there's another one that's a 3v3. Not only on Grassy Flats, but I have more Guerrilla Tactic videos on other maps such as Italian, Galician Ria, etc. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. So thanks, bye.